Good morning. This is Tuesday's math. So this is step 2 of your perimeter. So we're going to be looking at perimeter on a grid again, but we're going to be doing a bit of reasoning and problem solving to explain how we know that that is the answer. Okay, so having a look at this one here. What is the perimeter of the shape? So think about, what did you do yesterday to work out the perimeter? I'm going to get my pen to start off. And remember, you can use any starting point. So I'm going to choose the top, and we need to hop over the squares around the shape. So we'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So the perimeter of the shape should be 22 because I've started off and as you can see I've gone around the squares. Let's check if that's right. So that should be 22 centimetres. Okay? Now, one of these questions is going to get you to figure out, and it's a 2-step problem to figure out the answer. Which shape has the longest perimeter? So we're looking for the larger number. So to start off with, our first step is to find out the perimeter of both shapes. The second step will be to find out which one has the longest perimeter, the largest number. Okay, so let's start off on A. Remember, we can start wherever we want, so I'm going to start over here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So A is 16 centimetres for the perimeter. So let's choose a different colour. For B, I'm going to start off here, just on the corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so B was 18 centimetres. So that was step 1. We've done both perimeters. Which shape has the longest perimeter? So I want to know what's the largest number there. Okay, and we know that 18 is greater than 16. So B has the longest perimeter. So let's check if that's correct. And it is. It's B. Okay. Some other questions that you might have on your pack is that you need to draw a shape with a perimeter of a certain amount. Now on here I've put to draw a shape with the perimeter of 10 centimetres. It can't be 9 and it can't be 11, it's got to be 10. Okay? So to draw the shape, instead of hopping, you're going to draw around the shapes until you get to 10. Now you might need to do this more than once and that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to start off here. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm on 8, and I know I need 2 more squares, and the shape has got to join together. So 9, 10. So that's my shape there. Let's just go over there. So that's a perimeter of 10 centimetres. I'm going to just check it, just to double check. So start off the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that is a perimeter of 10 centimetres. Now it doesn't need to look like this. That is the one that we were looking for. That's just an example. You could have also done a different shape as long as it has the perimeter of 10 centimetres. Okay, now as you can see, I didn't have a straight line there. If you haven't got a ruler at home, that's fine. Just try and follow on the grid. If you have got a ruler, please do use it. Okay, here is a reasoning problem then. So this is where you have got to explain and prove why you are correct. Which shape is an odd one out? Which one of these shapes is the odd one out? Now remember, the learning question today is going to be measuring perimeter on a grid, okay? So we're not going to be looking at angles, we're not going to be looking at different shapes because they are different shapes, we're looking at perimeter on a grid. So again, this is a two-step problem. First step is to identify the perimeter on all four shapes, okay? So that's the first step, let's do that one now. So if we start off with A, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I'm going to put here to remind me, A equals 12 centimetres. Okay, I'll change the colour, go on to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so C is 10 centimetres. Change it again, let's go to red. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, can you notice anything already which one could be the odd one out? A is 12 centimetres, C is 10 centimetres, B was 12 centimetres, so that matches up with A, and we're looking for the odd one out, the one that's not the same. Okay, so I'm hoping that D is going to be 12 centimetres, which would mean that C has got the shorter perimeter because it's got the smaller number. Okay, so it's gone a different colour again, go to black. And last one, this is just step one of our two-step problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so D equals 12 centimetres. Step one is done. We've calculated the perimeters. We've got 12 centimetres, 10 centimetres, 12 centimetres and 12 centimetres. So if you want to pause the video now and have a go, which one is the odd one out and how are you going to prove to me that you're correct? Because we can't just put C. Okay, so have a think. Right, so you should have come back to the video now. It should be C. We know that it should be C because the rest of the numbers are 12 and the odd one out is C, which is 10. So let's have a look if this is anything close to what you would have said. C is the odd one out because it has a perimeter of 10 centimetres. The other shapes have a perimeter of 12 centimetres. Okay, so you're telling me that's the odd one out because it has the perimeter of 10 centimetres, whereas the other three shapes have got the matching perimeter of 12 centimetres. Okay, so that's one of the reasoning questions that you may have in your pack. Okay, another reasoning problem. Carlos thinks the perimeter of this shape is 24 centimetres. Okay, I'm going to underline that because that's a key piece of information that I need to know. Okay, so he thinks the perimeter of the shape is 24 centimetres. Now underneath, it says, what mistake has he made? So already the test paper's telling me it's not 24 centimetres. Now the only way that I'm going to be able to work that out is by doing my two-step problem. So the first step, think about your learning question, is to calculate the perimeter of a shape on a grid. So let's do that first. Starting from the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, okay? So the perimeter of this shape is 18 centimetres. I'm going to make a note of that, and you can do that on your work packs as well, because it's always good to make notes of things if you're doing a two-step problem. Now, what mistake has he made? I need to find out how he's got to that number, okay? Before Miss Colclough showed you how to jump around the squares, there is a common error that lots of us make. Let's just get the rubber. Okay, instead of jumping around the squares, lots of people will calculate the squares that are around the shape. Okay, let's do it in a different colour. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay? That's the wrong way, because you are counting the squares around the shape. Now, what mistake might he have made? Because I have gone all the way around the shape, and 22 centimetres is still the wrong answer. But it's not the one I'm looking for. This is why it's good to always underline your key piece of information. So I've had to go it that way. I've got the wrong answer, but I've got to 24. Have a look on the grid now. I want you to pause the video. How do you think Carlos has got to 24? I've got to 22 by doing it the incorrect way. Have a look on the grid. What can you see on the grid that he might have done? Pause the video for a second. Okay, so looking at Carlos's mistake, you should have noticed that there are 2 more squares here, which Carlos had have counted, which would have mean 22, add the 2 other squares there, makes 24, which links back to my key piece of information. What mistake has he made? Well, Carlos has counted the shapes around the shape. He hasn't calculated the perimeter by going around each box like we've been taught. So let's have a look. So Carlos has counted the squares around the shape instead of following the perimeter correctly. The perimeter is 18 centimetres. Let's go back. 18 centimetres is what we have. Okay. This is one of the last sort of problem solving questions that you're going to have, where you need to finish off the shape that has already been drawn for you. So, Lily starts to draw a shape. Here's the shape that she started to draw. As you can tell, we can't calculate the perimeter because it isn't joined up. However, complete the rectangular shape to make the shortest possible perimeter. I'm going to underline the shortest possible perimeter. That's my key piece of information. I don't want to make it the largest, I want to make it the smallest, which means the least amount of jumps as possible. So, there's a few ways that you could do this, but you want to be trying to join up these 2 by going around the squares, which is going to be the least amount of squares that you can make. So, starting from here, I'm not going to go any further out because I don't want to make the shape any bigger than it needs to be. So it's going to come down. Okay, now if I go this way down, I'm making the shape larger. I need to make the shape smaller. So I'm not going to make it any larger this way. I'm going to go and cut in. I'm going to stop there. Okay, I want you to have a think about this now. Why have I not gone up to this square? What would happen if I went up to this square? Well, if I went up to this square, I wouldn't be able to join onto the end of the shape here. So I've had to stop one square before so that I can go down and then I can join onto the end of the shape that Lily started to draw. Okay, that's the shortest shape that we could make. Any other way of doing it, it would have been going that way. That's a larger perimeter. Or if we even went across this way, that's also making the perimeter even bigger. The red is the shortest possible perimeter that we could have made. Okay, so any shape with a perimeter of 16 centimetres, for example, and that was the quickest route for us to get to. Right, this is the last one that I want us to look at, and then you can start going on to your packs. Which shape have the same perimeter? Remember, again, reasoning and problem solving normally requires a two-step problem. So the first step that we're going to do is calculate the perimeter of all four shapes. And then we've just got to match up which shapes have the same perimeter. Again, I'm going to get my red pen and I'm going to underline my key piece of information, which is the same perimeter. Not looking for anything that's different, we want the same. So let's start off with A. Remember, we're going to count around the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I'm going to put, remember, making a note is always good if you're doing a two-step problem. Okay, going on to B. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so B, 18 centimetres. C, let's go on to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, C equals 20 centimetres. And the final one we're going to have a look at, D. Okay, so let's go on to a different colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. D equals 22. Now, we've done the first step, we've calculated all of the perimeter. Look back to my key piece of information. Which shapes have the same perimeter? It's not asking for which one is the odd one out, so that does give me a clue that it might just be two shapes. Now, looking at the shapes, we've got A is 18 centimetres. B is also 18 centimetres, which is the same. C is 20 and D is 22, so those two are not the same. So which shapes have the same perimeter? Let's have a look. It's A and B. If this was a reasoning question, you would say A and B have the same perimeter because they are both 18 centimetres and C and D are greater than that. Okay? Hopefully this video has helped you to think about how you're going to answer your reasoning and problem solving questions. Looking at the stars, pick which star you want to do. They will just go up in levels of difficulty. They will all be reasoning and problem solving. Okay? Thank you for watching. Good luck.